Up, we are
The
on the
stream's up?
internet.
Oh,
yeah,
God.
this away.
He always does that. He always he randomly clicks live.
Yep.
Oh, no, I have to go get a water bottle. So
Oh. Go on. No,
Here, let me-
dehydrate to death, Brazil.
no, I'll fix it. I'll make it okay.
Okay. Oh.
Alright, I hope she doesn't fall off. Cause you don't even want to know how much I spent on this fucking thing.
Then you really shouldn't put it
Perfect.
on top of that.
No, it's good. It's
No,
fine.
no, it's good. It's good. It's good. It's gonna.
Yeah, I
stay
get a
there.
great view up here too.
Ooh. Wow.
Ah, see?
What? Oh no!
That happened right as I was walking
Oh, disaster.
It's fine. The hat just came off. It goes back on.
Okay, wow. Stop catching Pokemon.
I'm not. I'm just telling my friend who wants me to play Overwatch right now that I can't. I gotta do a stream. Oh, speaking of which, can I leave early, Teapot?
No.
No.
First of all,
wanna
you're here like 20% of the time to begin with.
I wanna go watch the Euro Cup at a bar, but I don't want to drink at that bar.
First of all, who's playing?
It's France versus Portugal, and I want to see France destroy Portugal.
Who cares?
Fuck France.
Not even good teams.
France is a good team.
No. Nope.
It is.
Nope.
It does. It does. It is a good team.
All right, I have to see
Really,
what I
it's
missed in
just Brazil
chat.
and Germany, and those are the.
Yeah, I agree. Those are the two best countries.
Are they? But what about America?
No, terrible.
No?
They're still calling it soccer for God's sakes. They don't even know what sport they're playing.
That is true, actually. Yeah. I can't. I have to say that.
Because they named that other sport football in their country, and it just doesn't make any sense. Why is that called football?
Mm.
They kick it like once a game.
Because I don't know.
Well, you kick it sometimes.
They kick it more
Yeah.
than once a game. They're boosts, but
Yeah.
I know, but still,
I
it's
mean,
like,
they kick it.
not quite as often.
should be called oblong handball.
Yeah,
Speaking of balls, have you guys been playing Pokemon Go?
No.
Boots is legally
No.
catching.
I just.
Why,
tried
why
to
would I
install-
ever play that?
I don't know.
First of all, I think the concept is absolutely ingenious.
Yeah, it is.
It is.
Um,
I'll give them
Me and-
that.
it's
I will
it's
say
funny
that.
because when it does actually release in Canada, me and my wife were talking about downloading it just because, like, if we go for a walk in the morning, it's like extra exercise, right?
Yep. Exactly.
And it's funny, but it actually gets people
I know.
outside way more than they ever would, which is fantastic.
I'll tell you a funny story about that. But go ahead and finish your thought.
Somebody put a meme up that said something to the effect of Michelle Obama. It took Michelle Obama 8 years to get people to walk outside or something, right? It took Nintendo 24 hours. Oh, I love that shit. Too funny.
So in relation to that, that was actually I was like, I'm gonna go outside and go for walks and play this. And then I thought, wait a minute. Because on all of my phones, I root and install Exposed on all of my phones. This is also kind of a bonus to that. I bought an original Motorola Droid, like the very first Android phone ever made. It came and I've been fucking around with it since like 4 in the morning. But Android phones and the developer options, they let you install apps and fake your location for development purposes. And there are apps like Pokemon Go, they block that. They block mock location. But there's an Exposed module that lets you kind of fuck around with that. So I have a fake GPS app that lets me mark routes and like walk around and bot and stop at particular places and just sit there. So I literally bought Pokemon Go with a fake GPS, and like every stop at a Pokestop, I just tap the screen, get my Pokeballs, and keep walking around. It's fun. I don't have to leave or do shit. Fuck losing weight. I'm gonna stay fat forever.
You know what?
Nice.
This is the perfect example of players finding the most ingenious ways to just break the game.
Yeah.
Brazil,
Yeah.
Are you telling me that you're visiting 29 locations?
Yeah. He could easily.
Oh,
Too
my
funny.
God.
Oh wow! Look, Zach,
there's Zach.
you actually, yeah. Zach was there.
Oh my God.
You boots beat you though.
1 second, 2 seconds. But I mean, it's probably gonna show up faster for this, right? Or wait, how's because of the delay?
No,
It's
no, no,
like
no. You still win. The
I
chat,
win.
the chat is live, so the chat reacts. Yeah, boots me until it feels bad.
There's
man.
a couple of things. This is going to sound terrible, but I'm waiting for stories. Maybe they already have, and I just haven't seen them. I'm waiting for stories to emerge where people do some B&Es in order to collect their fucking Pokemon, or they run out into fucking traffic and get
That's
hit by
gonna
a
happen.
car.
Oh,
or
yeah.
something.
Let
I
me
saw
let
Oh,
me tell you
yeah.
a story about that.
a dead body.
The dead
There's-
body.
Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
Found a dead body because she's trying to catch a fucking Pokemon in the sticks. I love it. I love it.
I
That was
frequent a very particular forum where I like to shit post a lot and read other shit posts. And there's a thread about Pokemon Go, and like there's a guy in Mexico that was just wandering around with his iPhone and walked into like a really fucked up part of town or something and didn't know it. And he got like mugged and stabbed and had his iPhone taken. Like people are like walking into the street and almost getting hit by cars. It's fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
Like it's terrible, but you know it's going to happen.
Yeah.
Was
Yeah.
was the Pokemon that the guy almost got, or that the girl got when she discovered the dead body, a ghost Pokemon? Because that would be too spooky for me right
yeah.
there.
The
I
other
was gonna
thing
say,
is
there's
the
also
other
good
thing-
stories though. Somebody
Right.
somebody tweeted this good story about how I think he's like a 40-year-old guy or something like that. He goes out at night to go catch some Pokemon, uh, and so he goes to a park, and he's going around this park, and he gets like an Eevee or something, and then he hears from like 20 meters away some people called, "Yo, hey man!" And he turns around, and it's two like I think 25-year-old, 20-ish black guys there in the park late at night. I think it's like midnight or something like that. And then he I guess he's kind of nervous, but they go, "Hey, go check over by that stand over there. There's an Onyx." and, and so he goes, and there's an Onyx there. And so he catches the Onyx, and then they like hang out, talk for a bit about Pokemon Go, and then a cop pulls up, and he sees two like 20-something black guys and a 40-year-old white guy together in a park at night. So he figures like a drug deal's going down or something.
It writes itself.
And so he pulls up to them and it goes, "Hey, what's going on here?" And so it takes them about like 5 minutes to explain the game to him. And so basically the story ends with the cop downloading Pokemon Go and joining their team.
Racing around the city with a siren in his own trying to catch Pokemon. Fucking hell.
Yeah.
I have a friend who his work is a Pokestop, and like all of his coworkers play too, so they're just constantly putting out fucking lure modules and like sucking stuff in, and every 3 minutes they just amass Pokeballs for free. Like it's pretty funny. It's funny
Not
shit.
only that, but you'll have players come into your shop.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Pokemon.
Now, Now, who's gonna bet that there'll be some kind of shady way to get your property, your store, kind of infested with these things, and that will lure people into the store, right?
Yeah,
Well,
you can just
yeah.
put lure modules in them.
Mm.
There's also some like I'm not sure exactly how the programming works, but some police stations are Pokestops.
Oh my god, that's not very good.
And the police are like, "Look, we
Yeah.
appreciate you're trying to catch a Pokemon, but not in the police station, please."
Yeah. I wonder, because there's probably some like apartment buildings or something that count as what's the reset time on some of these points of interest? Because you
3
could just like,
minutes.
so yeah, you could just sit in your house continuously pressing on this point of interest.
You can just sit with your fake GPS app. And,
Oh, you can do
and
that
plot
too.
it.
Yeah. Yes.
You have a route where it takes you 3 minutes to go from each one to each one. So it's always off cool time.
You're a really fast runner, huh, Brazil?
Yeah, you can set how fast you want it to go. I can make it go 5 kilometers per hour. I can get it up to like 75. Just fucking zoom around.
Just running.
It's so great. Oh my god, it's the best.
Oh my god.
There's next month there should be some interesting stories too about how many people went over their data caps and
Oh yeah.
now have a
for
bill
sure.
of like $1,000 or something.
For sure, yeah. The
Can't
also
wait.
it's interesting because depending on where you are in a town or city, obviously more people are playing. So I noticed. Well, I didn't have the game until just now, but my friend has it. And so when near his place, there's like a gym, and the person who owns that gym or something only has like a CP of 85 or 100 and something. But then when you go downtown, it goes up to like 500 and something, 600 and something
So
because
many people are there.
so many people are there. And I assume that also this gym is like right next to the university. So I assume people are in class, not paying attention, just doing this the whole
Yeah.
time, completely replacing the gym.
I gotta catch my Pokemon on top of the CN Tower. I'll be right back.
Yeah.
Good idea.
No, this
Yeah.
would be good, you
Be a good
know.
place for one.
What if it was like halfway down the CN Tower?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, well,
You put the gyms in a gym, and to get the to get the Pokemon out of the gym, you have to work out, and that unleashes a Pokemon, or you get to battle someone or whatever.
You put them in the gym and also in the leather club 3 blocks down.
Yeah. and then you get one of the NPCs and it says, "Hey buddy, I think you got the wrong door." The leather club's 2 blocks down. I feel like Boot still doesn't know what that meme is. Do you?
I
I
don't
have no
think
idea.
Yeah.
Do you think there is only one place in the world where a Mewtwo spawns?
Oh.
I can find out.
Oh my god.
Is there any easy way to hunt down Pokemon, specific Pokemon?
I don't know.
Eventually, I've been playing Pokemon competitively on like the Game Boy games and DS games since like the beginning of time.
Oh my
And
goodness.
do not underestimate the Pokemon community. They will have Pokemon Go like entirely fucking mapped out. Like GPS, like fake GPS location hacks, like all kinds of bullshit, like within like 2 months. Like, believe me, it'll be 100% mapped. It will.
I believe it. But are they like is it random spawns for Pokemon or not?
I don't think so.
Okay. Like maybe you have a chance for each different spot of 3 different Pokemon or something like that. And
Probably
then
on this.
yeah. Yeah. Huh. Okay. I don't know. It's interesting.
It is interesting. Oh, I
Hmm.
do. Yeah.
This is the same company that made what's that, Ingress? No, what's that game called? I think it's Ingress. It's a game very much like this, but instead of Pokemon, it's just like portals and stuff. Like it's saying that there's
Nobody gives a shit about that. If it's not Pokemon, you ain't attracting people.
exactly, but a lot of people were like into this, kind of like Eve
Yeah.
Online. There's a big community of people who are really into this, and I think what they did was they just reused all of the data that they got from that Ingress game to make all the portals turned into Pokemon spawn points or something, or all the portals turned into points of interests, and so yeah, so they didn't have to do a lot of work for this one. Pretty smart.
Yeah. This is
Yeah.
it's gonna work out incredibly well for them, isn't it?
Exactly. They used a bunch of people playing that other game to make this game.
Yeah.
It's I feel like they could put subliminal messages and be like the Illuminati. There's just triangles everywhere. Triangles with eyes. They control you. It's like it's over.
It's funny because it hasn't really caught on. It hasn't caught on too well in my city yet, because Twitter and everything. People are saying that they just see people running around, clearly collecting Pokemon with their phone or whatever. Not as big a thing here just yet. Obviously, because it's not released, but I mean,
You can download an APK and install it.
yeah, you can
Also-
still get it, but yeah.
There are very obviously sites who inject malicious program into the APKs that they host for the game. Go Google about that if you're thinking about
Yeah,
downloading it.
be
because,
very careful.
Yeah,
Apparently, APK Pure is good.
APK Pure is good. They're just
Yeah.
like rehosts from the Play Store, and they're like verified.
Hmm
I
But
would just
yeah,
wait.
otherwise they could hijack your iPhone if you get one of the bad ones.
Yep.
Well,
Yeah,
not
I don't
iPhone,
want
but
that.
whatever, your phone.
iPhone with an APK? What?
Not iPhone, Android. Anyway, the other thing is, I was just thinking, it'd be really good for this game, and I'm probably sure they're going to be doing something about this. You know how nobody uses Google Glass anymore?
Yeah.
People could start using Google Glass again, maybe with this game, or Google Glass, or what's that new one from Microsoft? The whatever it's
What,
called.
the full VR thing?
The VR thing. Yeah. I know you'd look like a total tool around town with
Kill
this.
yourself for
How cool would it be if you actually go around town and you see the Pokemon as you go?
It would be amazing. I agree. Yeah.
Fun. Google
would be
Glass
great.
would be less. I mean, you look like a tool either way, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
You look like a fucking tool walking around with your phone.
with your iPhone anyway.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So, what have you got to lose?
Actually, that looks normal.
I guess that's fair.
Yeah, it'd be
That
really
is
cool.
true.
People nowadays don't look up from their phone anyway.
No.
Yeah.
I think that's something that I wanted to do. Like I was thinking of making before Google Glass just sort of disappeared. I was thinking of a great idea for a game / whatever for it is like a mini map where it uses Google Maps, and anybody could make quests for people on the internet to go do something. Like to go to a park and find something, or go kind of like geocaching,
Kind of like
stuff.
drug deals or murders.
Kind of like drug deals or murders.
That's what I
And-
use it for.
And the profit obviously would come from companies saying, the one quest is go to your store and you level up or something. You get points for doing this kind of thing. So, but this is way better. I mean, like you can't go wrong with Pokemon.
I think if any of you guys are VR developers, feel free to take this idea. But I think the best possible use for VR, other than like the best obvious possible use for VR, so y'all know what that is, right? Is a visualizer. Like, you know how iTunes and like Winamp and shit have visualizers that like make colors and patterns with music? I mean, just put that in a VR headset and sell it to druggies. And just have them play their like Mastodon and like stoner music and sit there just watching a visualizer for hours and hours and hours.
Sounds
Perfect.
great.
Don't even need LSD.
Yeah.
No.
Even if you want to be even more sinister with it, sell a subscription service.
Oh, you get them addicted to it. That'd be pretty funny, actually. Yeah.
So, Guild Wars 2, anything?
Well, in terms of Guild Wars 2, you know what we have? We've got Brazil's new meta build.
Oh, I saw that.
That's
I
what we-
watched the first few minutes.
What? It's like 6 minutes long, dude. Come on.
I know. I had to
Are you
leave.
kidding me?
It was this morning. It was this morning, and I had to go.
Were you that messed up
That's
that you
Is
couldn't?
why.
It's
That's
sick
why
fashion.
I made it literally like a third of the length of the ones I normally do.
No, but apparently it's got to be 9 minutes and 26 seconds to get big on YouTube.
Yeah, that's fine. Whatever.
No, actually, it's 10 minutes.
Yeah, and
10
1
minutes
second.
and 1 second.
Yeah, to get that sweet extra ad
Sweet
revenue,
spot.
right? Yeah.
Yeah.
No, but the ad revenue doesn't matter. It's at the 9 minutes and 26 second mark. The Google the YouTube algorithm to get it put up in all the search bars and stuff.
Just FYI, it's a lot more complex than that.
No, it's exactly 9 minutes and 26 seconds.
That exact. No, yeah.
I mean, they can just change that number based on what's going on,
They could.
No.
But
and
They're too lazy. It's
YouTube.
gonna be.
there are a whole lot of. I've had to explain to a couple of people why their ideas are just fucking stupid lately. So, I mean, you're not the first.
have you been talking to people about raid composition on Reddit? Because
Oh yeah, you like that shit, Brazil? You like those YouTube comments? You like those dislikes, man? You like that?
I don't care about dislikes and mean comments. Like, that doesn't matter to me. But it's just funny. Like, I don't know. People miss the forest for the trees.
Ventari Revenant, the new meta. Who said bad stuff? I want to read this. Nice
Well-
guide. Brazil is better than WP is better than Nike. That's a good comment.
Wow.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you actually use this build?
Yeah,
Yeah, I've seen it in action a few times.
I've been using it.
Yeah.
I still need to like perfect playing it because it's honestly not very easy to play.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know.
Do you
Actually,
think,
like making the video and like drilling the rotations over and over was really helpful. And theory crafting more and more with a couple of different people is really helpful too. So,
Okay.
Do you think if they do a PvE PvP split? I mean, I don't know why do they even increase the cooldown of the thing? Because they removed the cast time. I mean, surely that wasn't really a big deal in PvP anyway, right?
Yeah,
I mean, but I mean, so okay, let's assume that it's a massive problem in PvP or something, or maybe they just did this for the fuck of it. Who knows? But you know, if they reduce it down to 2 seconds again, that'd be pretty good, right?
I want to double check on. Okay, no, I don't need to double check. I remember. So the cleanse on the tablet uses 30 energy, and it only removes 3 conditions.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Whereas
on
staff,
5 targets though, so it's okay.
Yeah, but staff does the same thing for 15 energy,
Mm.
and it heals like twice as much.
Yeah, but I mean, the cooldown is only 5 seconds if I recall correctly.
Yeah, but I mean, if you have to use it twice, you don't have any energy anyways.
Yeah, but I mean that's a very powerful spell.
Yeah.
With some circumstances. What's the radius on it? 360? No
I don't
scope?
know.
But still, I mean, that's going to cleanse.
Yeah, the radius would be 360. I don't know what the range is.
Yeah, so it's going to be, 15 condies cleansed for that. I mean, yeah, staff is better because it's more energy efficient. But what's the cooldown on the staff ability? So maybe there's kind of a payoff there.
Yeah, it has a longer cooldown, which is, that is a trade-off. I think the tablet skills. I think the main problem with just healing in general is that Druid is just too good. Like Druid heals enough. You can go overkill on healing with it if you play actual healing gear. But I don't think you need to. I think Druid should probably always be Zealots. But Druid has Grace of the Land. That's like 15%. Druid has Glyph of Empowerment. Druid has Frost Spirit. Druid has Spotter. Druid has Sun Spirit.
Yep.
Druid has Fury. Druid has
invalidates every other healer.
5 fucking unique modifiers.
The thing is, though, you're not going to get rid of all of those. I mean, suppose if you nerf Druid, you're still not going to get rid of the great amount of offensive buffs that Ranger has, right?
No, Glyph of Empowerment. No. Glyph of Empowerment needs to be 5%, and Grace of the Land needs
5%?
to be 1%.
That's pretty harsh.
Grace of the Land needs to be 1%.
1%?
1%.
Oh,
2%. 2%.
You're talking about
1%.
when they split it up just for
No,
PvE.
just in general, he's talking about.
Grace of the Land being 1% is generous. They should honestly just delete it.
What should it do? What would you change it to?
1%.
No, I mean, without
just
being...
the trait?
Yeah, just the trait. What would you
Even
make
if it was 1%, I think people would still.
What if
Yeah,
you...
take it.
That's
I mean,
still
it's
5%
still an
damage and
increase.
condition damage.
What
Right,
if
exactly.
you...
It's still good.
What
Yeah.
if you sent? What if you
Still
sent the number of targets on some avatar skills to 3? That makes it harder to buff everyone.
Yeah, I mean that.
You would just bring an extra one.
Yeah.
Would you take 3
Probably.
druids though? Is that worth it? I don't know.
Here's the thing.
Maybe not. I don't know.
You
but
can. Another problem is that people think you have to take a Chronomancer and a Revenant for Facet of Nature. You don't.
Oh, I've had this conversation.
I have too. I've had this conversation like probably 15 times just this week alone. Just this week alone. And people think you need a Revenant and a Chrono to max people out on Fury or on quickness.
No, you don't need a rev.
You don't need it. I think it makes it easier for the chrono.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't matter because Chrono can just take 87% boon duration easily.
You could do 100% boon duration easily with a Chronomancer.
You can.
With the
Like,
sigil, with the sigil, right?
No, you don't need
No, with
Even-
platinum doubloon.
No, not with platinum doubloons.
Platinum.
Yes, platinum
Not with
doubloons.
platinum doubloons.
Here's the problem about Chronomancer. Its damage is so fucking trash, and
But it doesn't
most of
matter.
the time you're playing, most of the time, I realize that like people like QT benchmark the Chrono on a Golem, doing like DPS rotations and using illusionary wardens and shit, and they get like 13k DPS on a Golem. Actually doing rotations and like using DPS gear and putting wardens instead of Avengers. And I'm sorry, in an actual raid, unless you're QT, fuck that. Like, no, it's worthless. I mean, you can just take a Chrono who is self-sufficient, fucking get 4 Signet of Inspirations, because you get 2 in a continuum split and 2 out of it, if you're really quick at it. You're going to cap everybody on quickness for like the whole fight with just 1 goddamn rotation. You don't need a Revenant. Just take another Tempest if damage is a problem. Or take a Ventari Revenant for the healer and Fury, but Druid's too strong. Druid has too many buffs. Druid has permanent Fury anyways. Fuck Revenant. That's what it comes down to. And they need to do something about that.
But Revenant does bring some stuff to the table, though.
Of course,
I think
Fury.
You've got the easy
Fury's
Fury
replicated by the 2 druids that you're bringing.
Yeah,
already.
but it just makes it easier, right? It makes it very reliable, and also you've got very strong CC as well, solid DPS.
You have
5.
And Assassin's Presence. This was mentioned in chat. You've got Assassin's Presence. That's like 4% buff to everyone.
Yeah, but that's
roughly
also what,
of
like
7 people.
40, 50k DPS versus like maybe 20k.
Yeah.
I don't think you're ever going to see 20k DPS on a Revenant.
I think it all works out because you have these choices, and I think that's great. You can have a Chrono that doesn't have to go stupid with his boon duration, and have a Revenant with him. And that means Revenant is viable in raids because of it. And then you have Druids that are...
See, we're getting to a different conversation now. We're talking about viability versus what everybody tries to force down your throat. Which
Why would you need it to be forced down your throat when everything's viable?
Because
no.
Have you ever played Guild Wars 2 before?
Oh, yeah, sorry.
Have you ever heard of someone called Nemesis? We had this conversation for 3 years.
Yeah.
It's not about viability. You start to have a conversation about viability.
It's about no updraft Gorseval. That's what it's about.
It all gets turned into as to what is best.
You know, no updraft Gorseval is a really actually interesting example for this, because honestly, if you can do no updraft Gorseval, you absolutely should do no updraft Gorseval, because the fight is way easier if you do no updraft Gorseval.
That's right.
Okay? So you literally get massively rewarded for just cheesing the mechanics on Gorseval, right?
If you can do what's his name, the undead worm thing for Necromancer on Zera when it was still bugged, you should do undead. Yeah, no, it makes sense though. Like might as well, if you can do updraft, no updraft Gorseval, do it. Yeah, of course, but it's still possible to beat it without it, right? Like, why?
Yes.
Yeah. So,
I think Keep Construct is a good example of this, because if you can kill the spirits fast enough at the start, the fight actually has 0 mechanics.
Really?
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because if you can kill it quick enough to even not get hit by the circles that appear, there are no mechanics in the fight, basically. All you have to do is push orbs around. All you have to do is push orbs around, pretty much.
So do you then, like, in that case, before coming to the Keep Construct, just switch out to everybody is an Elementalist and then do it?
That's pretty much the prevailing model, although Snowcrows did their Guardian thing, which is actually hilarious and also very cool. Where they did 6 Guardians, and they roleplayed as Guild Wars 1 people by saying it was Guardway. Oh my god.
Was it Power Guardians?
Yeah, Power Guardians. Just they were using great swords, I think. Just to just burst stuff with traps and stuff, and it's brilliant. I love the Guardian F1 on Keep Construct. It's fucking great because they just basically put Guardians at each of the rifts and just pulled it around with F1s. It was beautiful.
Oh yeah.
It was beautiful. Guardian is great on that fight, just straight up with the hammer, and then I think they had 1 hammer and everyone else was running greatsword and stuff. I haven't actually got the full details on that.
Yeah, I think it's like there's 2 approaches to rating. It's you have a group that you always go with. You could have these conversations of what's the meta comp, and you could completely optimize everything. And then there's people where you have to pug in 1 or 2 players. So you're gonna need to have these other options, and it works perfectly fine.
Right. The problem is the vocal community, however large or minor that is extremely resistant to any sort of talk that is not about the optimal way to do raids. Which, by the way, optimally speaking, raids are a joke. You don't need to play optimally to beat them, to clear them, to do anything of the sort. And I'm not trying to to crap all over raids because I really do like and enjoy raids, but you don't have to run the optimal composition in order to be anywhere close to successful at doing the encounter.
Mhm.
Very lenient.
Yeah, and I think I don't know. I like to think of myself as pretty pragmatic on this point because you know you know what you can do. You can run 2 Berserker Druids on Matthias, and you can wipe for 5 hours, or you can drop 1 Druid, and you can bring a Staff Tempest with Cleric's Gear, and just do it first try, but take 30 seconds longer, right? And I think, you know, what's the best choice
wrong.
there?
You're wrong, Teapot.
I know.
You need to have 2 druids so everybody gets all the buffs.
Everyone needs to have Grace of the Land, guys. Come on.
That's right. Yeah.
You know?
If you don't do that, GTFO. Get out of the
Exactly.
group.
If you're not running full meta comp in every fight, why would you even do anything? Come on. What's the problem? Consensus is expensive. Optimal is also about predictability, which is what everyone wants to get success. I don't really know what that means, honestly. What are you talking about? I think the rate.
He's saying, I don't know about consensus is expensive, but optimal is about predictability. He means that an optimal raid comp means that you know exactly what's gonna go down. Like there's no room for error because everybody knows exactly what they're doing. And
don't get me wrong. I think that there are definitely situations where you should be playing as close to the optimal meta builds as possible. If you're pugging, if you're playing with a group that is trying to learn the fight or is rather inexperienced, those builds will give you a much better chance at being successful. But once you clear it, once you understand the fight, once you know what you're doing, it's just not necessary to run some of those compositions like that. There's a lot of leniency in the classes and builds that you can bring and have fun with the raid and clear it just as quickly.
It's actually one of the things I kind of one of the several things that I have a problem with the Zera fight. It's quite a rigid composition you need. I mean, you need a good chunk of Tempest, otherwise the mechanics are just going to get out of control. And you kind of have to have a composition that can split up into 2 halves, and that really limits you on what you can pick, right? I mean, there is some leeway. You can swap out a few people, but all the groups basically look the same because of the way you have to split out, right? You need one. You need kind of a mirror setup in order to get anything done. Otherwise, the first section is just going to take forever. But that's why I presume we should do 10 Ventari healers. Zera.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. That would actually be pretty funny. The Zera fight would be easy without bugs. Yeah, you're right. Okay, so if we had 10 Ventari healers and we just stacked in the middle, you'd still die actually because the orbs would just instantly kill you. You'd have to tank Zera while she's in the Bloodstone Showers, but if you don't apply any condies, then she won't get buffed, right? With quickness and stuff, she'll just get the damage buff. But never mind, I'm getting off topic here. Back to the matter in hand.
what were we talking about again?
The meta is a lie.
Okay, so I think that covers it all.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, we didn't talk about was Zero's mask in the gem store. That upset a lot of people.
Oh. Yeah, this is funny. This is pretty entertaining. I mean, they gave their reasoning. If it's true, well, I mean,
that was a pretty good reason. That was a fantastic.
yeah,
reason.
you didn't
That
buy
reason
inks,
actually
didn't buy
triggered
inks.
me.
Yeah.
That reason triggered me more than the mask being in the gem store. My gosh.
You want to tell us? Why don't you explain the situation to us, Inks? Why do you lay it down?
So they put the mask in the gem store, which upset some people. I understand why that upset some people. At first, I didn't even care. I was just like, I expect it. I mean, it's kind of par for the course. The reasoning that it's in the gem store and not a raid reward was because they didn't have enough time to bring the artist in to finish the mask before the deadline of Wing 3, whenever that was. So rather than have the mask never ever be created in the game, they pitched the idea to the gem store team to create it instead. That was basically the reasoning. And there you go.
Oh, I thought it was that the gem store dean came up with the idea. And
No, well, I mean, not according to the response we got. I don't know. So yeah, basically it's like saying that we didn't have the resources available at the time, so it got pushed to another team in order to create it. Otherwise, it wouldn't exist at all. And there you go, it's in the gem store. And they went on further to explain that, and this is not uncommon, we've seen this since like the beginning of Time Guild Wars 2, where the gem store team tries to create or does create items that match whatever content is being released. So if raids are being released, you're going to see some raid themed items in the gem store that relate to that content. When Living Story 3 comes out, whenever that is, you're going to see some Living Story 3 content in the gem store, Halloween and Winter's Day, etc., etc., etc. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Card made a great example, like Kaith's dagger, right? When Kaith was the star of Living Story 2, like her daggers got put into the gem store.
Yeah. It happens.
So there you go.
But it shouldn't. I mean, so many people were complaining that the raids were completely inaccessible to them, right? So shouldn't they be happy they now have access to something?
Oh, and
from
some
the
people
raids?
are. Some people are very happy because they're like, look, I wouldn't have done raids otherwise, and now I get a piece of the raid or their perceived perception of a piece of the raid by being able to get this mask.
Yeah. Otherwise, you'd have to spend a lot of gold to buy all the raids. You need to get all the shots.
Just beware. Skype may get a little laggy for just a second.
Oh no!
Oh shit.
That's not good. Oh well. We're gonna turn into robots, guys. Have you know, Mr. Destructoid? Here we go.
It'll be worth it though.
Okay.
Oh.
You're not adding someone, are you?
Is it lagging yet?
A tiny bit? Not much? Well, it is for me a little bit.
It shouldn't be for very long. I don't think it'll be that bad.
Okay, fine.
So the question I have about the Zera thing is was this also true for the Sabbatha Mini? Was this true for the Slothosaur back?
No, this is the funny.
Soul River Glider?
With the Sabbatha Mini, I mean, come on, how hard is it to make a Mini, right? They've literally just they already have the model, they reduce it in size, and then they put it in a Mini. There's no excuse. There is no excuse there, is there? Come on, right? They already have her. They made Sabbatha. Just make her smaller and do whatever they have to do to make her into a Mini. I mean, yeah, come on. But
it's really like that one was really weird in the sense that like every other Mini in Wing 1 was available, except Sabbatha.
Yeah.
And then she got put in the gem store like a week later or something, right? Or 2 weeks later, whatever the hell it was.
Yeah. And with the glider as well as being brought up here, I can kind of understand that. I mean, it's a glider. They sell gliders on the gem store, right? It's
basically 90% or so. A lot of them, basically.
Yeah, it's kind of...
The Soul River Glider would have been great. Now that we have all 3 wings, the Soul River Glider would have been a fantastic reward for completing every achievement in the first raid.
Yeah.
And a good deal of other MMOs, World of Warcraft, Rift, SWTOR, etc. When you complete all of the achievements in a raid, or sometimes a particular really difficult achievement on hard mode, that will reward you usually with some sort of title and or mounts for doing such a thing. So if you would have done every achievement in all 3 raid wings, getting the Soul River Glider would have been a fantastic reward. But it is what it is.
It is.
It is what it is.
It's a great statement. It is what it is. Wait, what the hell is Brazil doing? What's he doing?
He's laughing.
I'm gonna put it in Twitch chat.
Oh my goodness. Okay, right, here we go. Wait, you were just uploading something? Wait, what the fuck?
Meta is a lie. .corgyorgy.
Yeah, and then it's just ice bows coming across.
Oh,
that's pretty good. What song is playing? Is it Zach's song playing?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's beautiful. Meta is a lie party is the name of the fucking website. Wow. It's beautiful. ArenaNet should hire inks. Maybe they should.
To do what exactly?
Yeah.
To yell at them? Because that's about all I'd be good for.
But we do have to give them something to sell in the gem store, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I guess
At the end of the day, they have to sell something, and with every raid release, they have to sell something in the gem store. And it turns out this was it. So this is why I wasn't really that upset about it, because at the end of the day, they have to sell something because they have to make money.
Yeah.
The raids was free. It was free.
If it was another glider
Free.
skin,
Hold
everybody
on,
would just
hold
be
on,
like,
hold
"Oh,
on.
look, another glider skin. This sucks."
Oh my gosh.
But
So, yes, they do need to make money. They do need to put things into the gem store.
the question is, what?
Does it necessarily have to be things from the
Connected to-
raid?
It doesn't
I
have to
mean-
be things from
I
raid.
mean,
but it,
okay,
The,
the
question
white
is, do you
mantle
connect
outfit-
it to what's currently happening in the game, or do you not connect it to what's currently happening in the game? What's
Well,
currently
and they-
happening in
and
the
they
game
do
is
both.
raids.
And they
So-
do both. So
And I think it's commercially
And-
correct to have it to what's related to what's currently happening in the game.
Yeah,
on the other hand, they could have tied it to like current events somehow or something.
like bandit something,
I don't know.
white mantle something. But then you could just tie that back to raids again. So like, like no, why? I don't
I mean, they
think
have the
they'll-
white mantle
something.
outfit. It's an outfit, and that's fine. The other thing about the Zero thing is it's a piece of armor, and people have been heavily criticizing ArenaNet about armor for a while. When there's not very much armor going into the game, and you put it into the gem store,
Right.
out
And
of
they
the
did make a
reward.
note recently, not that recently, but I think maybe half a year ago or something, saying that the gem store is going to be concentrating on outfits and not doing armor pieces anymore.
Yeah, not a big fan of that. But
Yeah.
I guess it makes it easier for them with regards to the clipping and so on. So I can I can understand that decision. Not a big fan of that though.
Right, they made that decision, but at the same time, they just released an armor piece.
Yeah.
So
it feels like the chest piece and the legs are the two real big hitching points for problems with armor, because we see maybe shoulders, I don't even know, but helmets, gloves, and boots, even shoulders, we see in the gem store all the time. Not all the time, but from time to time, as like singular pieces or a 2-piece set or a 3-piece set. We've seen that in the gem store before. So I guess chest piece and legs is where all the clipping and problems occur. So that's the hitch. That's the problematic point. I mean, I'm not an armor designer. I don't know what goes into that whole thing, but they've said it's a problem. So
yeah, I
that's
have
why we
no
outfits.
I have no real problem with it. They gave a lot of rewards and raids, and yes, this could have been one of them. And I don't think the excuses they gave made that much sense. But at the same time, they got to make gem store items somehow, and I think it's better that they relate it to the current content rather than. I mean, they have also been reaching back into Guild Wars 1 lore to make some items, like they made the Gwen stuff, and they made Lissa stuff, even though she's not really part of the game right now. But I think it's better to relate it to the current stuff in the game because that's what people are currently interested in.
And I think that there's good ways to do that and bad ways. So like the Sabbatha Mini, kind of a bad way. Salsasaur back piece and the outfit, good ways, I think, in my opinion. The mask is like, it's a weird thing because it's an armor piece. It's a bit touchy. So you have to wonder too, like, was the mask sort of almost an afterthought and that's why they couldn't get the artist in at the last second to create it and pitched it off to somebody else? Or did they prioritize other rewards over the mask and the mask was just not finished in time?
If they took an extra 3 weeks and made a Zera outfit, do you think that would have been better?
It didn't take 3 weeks, but
I know, but if they made a Zera complete outfit instead of a Zera
the
mask,
armor set.
yeah, not armor set, outfit,
Oh no,
would that have been better?
people don't like outfits. I mean, maybe that's better.
So maybe
for
that's
them.
why they made an armor set because they would only sell that and they
Maybe
wouldn't
that's
sell the
better
outfit.
for them. I don't know.
Yeah.
But actually, a tonic would have been really fantastic, right?
In the gem store?
Well, maybe not in the gem store. I don't know, but just as a reward in general, like the Watchwork tonic, you could have a Zero tonic. I think that works better than an outfit, actually. A transformation.
It would be. I think the only way that I would find that to be a kind of a
Still at the
decent.
gem store.
Yeah, but the thing is, I have about tonics is you can't use them in combat, and that's just it's just I can't.
But you can use the Watchwork tonic in combat.
Yeah, you can use that one. Is that the only one?
It's the only one
you can use in
I think
combat?
that's the only one.
And it's got, isn't it a 5-minute duration with something like a half an hour cooldown?
Right, but they could play with those numbers.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
think of the Zero tonic more like a carpet or something, right? You can turn it on or off,
yeah.
I guess, or whatever the case is.
Yeah,
of
I
course,
bet
you
she
wouldn't
has.
want it to disable in. You wouldn't want it to disable in combat, but I don't know.
Yeah, combat tonics would be really good. Yeah, exactly. Guild Wars 1 tonics. You could take a tonic in Guild Wars 1 and go off and fight. There you go. Oh, Ascalonian Mage can be used in combat as well. There you go. There's another one that can be used in combat. But, you know, not a lot of them
I think
can.
part of the problems with that is creating animations then, or maybe you give them some weird stock animation that isn't really flashy or something.
Yeah.
But you have to attach animations to the actual tonic for it to fight in combat, etc.
And with Zera, that really wouldn't be a problem, though, would it? I mean, Zera is just a human. I mean, yeah, you know, Gorseval tonic, that's going to get a bit weird, you know? I mean, you're not going to be able to attack properly with Gorseval.
No, he's going to be a mount in the next expansion. You can ride Gorseval across the desert wastes.
Now,
Yes.
now that would be a good thing to sell in the gem store. Gorseval mount.
Gorseval mount.
Yeah.
Should have been a raid
Slothosaur.
reward.
Slothosaur mount. Come on. I would buy that. That's pretty good, actually.
Oh, man.
Yeah,
Funny.
that would be good.
There we go. Now you can hear me. I'd buy that for $1.
For $1. Gorseval
What else?
glider. Oh,
Oh.
my god.
Well, Gorseval Glider, jeez. PvP season ends on Monday. Season 3 ends on Monday.
This Monday?
Yeah.
Oh.
We've heard nothing about a patch for Tuesday.
No, we haven't.
It's in the next quarter already.
Uh-oh.
You think we're gonna do it?
Uh-oh. Where's our update?
Are any of you surprised?
But I have
No.
good news, though. Good news for Mesmers everywhere. If you are a Mesmer, you know how the Phantasmal Haste trait, or whatever it's called, that makes the Phantasms attack 20% faster? That's going to be changed to work on the Avengers. So more alacrity for everyone. There you go.
Hey, now I'll be able to min-max and use 2 wardens instead of just 1.
Exactly. More Wardens.
Card
Indeed.
says build templates on Tuesday.
It was leaked.
Wouldn't that be amazing?
It wa-
Yeah, I've heard some pretty interesting leaks lately
There's leaks?
that I don't believe, but
Okay, give me your leaks.
mounts in the next expansion.
Well, that wasn't a leak. That was my idea.
But it's
No,
now
that
a
was-
leak.
That was apparently a leak.
That's now a leak?
Yeah, the zones are really big and the mounts depend on what they are. Like if it's a desert, it's a jungle worm and you ride it around.
So is
Like a
this
sandworm.
is this an issue of I called it, or is it more of an issue of
It's
I
an
suggest-
issue of it's not going to happen because it's not true.
Oh.
or
so
or
they're a
did
bit
I
of a shit
suggest
leak
it,
then,
and
isn't
now
it?
it's gonna be true because
Oh,
they always take
they-
ideas.
Yeah, they do.
If
Always
they-
take your ideas.
Man.
It's funny. If they had mounts to the game, you know they're going to be 90% gem stored, just like the gliders, right?
Yeah. You're muted.
It's also going to
yeah.
totally invalidate like everything that Heart of Thorns had. Because there's just going to be new masteries.
Well, I mean, there's going to be new masteries regardless, right?
Yeah, they're going to have mounting instead of gliding.
I don't think that necessarily
Sounds like a
invalidates
Skyrim mod from Lover's Lab, by the
I
way.
think you'll still have gliding. I think you'll still have gliding
Sure.
in the next location.
Maybe you won't though. Maybe the
You
wind
don't
will
know.
be the wind will be too much, and you know you
No.
can't. The
No, no,
sand
no,
in
no,
the
no,
air
no.
because we're in the desert.
Okay, fine. Possibly in some locations, just for mechanics point of view, they want to keep no gliding in it, just like in the old world, in old Tyria, in jumping puzzle areas, gliding's turned off in some cases. So they might have that, but I think if you have the Heart of Thorns expansion and you get the next expansion, you will be allowed to use your masteries in the next area.
Of course. But
Because here's the thing about that. They're either gonna have to do they either probably will do. We're giving Heart of Thorns away with the base game. They're
It'll
gonna
be
piss
interesting if
everyone
they do
off
that.
again.
No, they won't.
Or the gliding in the fucking new area will just be the incentive for people without Heart of Thorns to buy it.
Well, yeah, that's
But
the thing,
I
though, isn't it?
don't think they'll make it to where you have to have both to play one or the other.
I think
I don't
exactly.
think so either.
I think what it's going to be is
It'll be
this.
separate.
Separate, exactly, because they set up Heart of Thorns exactly that way so that it is completely contained and separate from the core game, and it can be completely contained and separate from an additional expansion. All of the armor sets that got released in Heart of Thorns are all account bound. You can't buy them on the trading post. You can't do anything of that. Like I'm talking about Vipers and stuff like that. Um, and and gliding, all the masteries, you could only do that if you have Heart of Thorns. So I see them not releasing a new type of gliding in the next expansion. I see them doing mounts instead or something like that. And you only can glide if you have Heart of Thorns, and you could only use a mount if you have the new expansion.
Heart of Worms.
Heart of Worms. That's
Heartworms.
Without
I think my dog takes pills for that.
But okay, look.
take this.
But
pill.
the thing is, guys, do you guys remember? Oh, well, no, Brazil knows this actually because he made a new account. How much fun is it to go around Heart of Thorns without masteries?
I still can't send gold from my new account. To my
Really?
Yep.
What the fuck? That's
And if
really
I
annoying.
try to send, like, I tried to mail myself mats again this morning. I sent mats yesterday. I tried to mail myself mats again this morning, and I was still suppressed.
Jeez. Them new
Hell,
accounts.
what-
It's
hell,
bad.
In
It's
other
being
words,
suppressed.
buying a new account, buying an alt account if you already have a main account is a waste of money.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
It will pay off in about 6 months. Just by
Okay.
just by daily
6
rewards.
months. 6
Ju-
months
ju-
when you play the
in
game.
just
It's an
daily
investment.
rewards. I'm pretty.
That's all right.
I know
I
that's a
could've
rough
spent
guess.
$100 on gems instead on my main account.
Someone
Just
you
got it
know,
all immediately.
Someone get me that. Maybe someone knows the numbers on that, but I would guess it's about 6 months it takes to pay off. That you'll get your gems worth out of
Right,
just
but the
dailies in that 6 months.
The complaint is, how long does it take so that your account isn't so restricted to send stuff back and forth?
I think it's at least a month.
Well, no, I've been able to do it within days on
I
my
can't.
accounts. That's so weird.
And this is people.
Yeah.
You're talking about people.
Can't
who
you
log in
you
every
can't
day
send
and
gold.
do dailies every day. That's 6 months of logging in every day. That's the only way that.
No,
it's...
not dailies. Just the
I
login
can-
chest.
I can send myself mats and shit from laurels that I buy at the login chest. I can buy stuff off the trading post and send it to my main account, but I can't send gold.
Oh, you should probably contact support about that. That's
Zach.
that just seems
6 months is shorter than
that doesn't seem right because I send gold from my alt account to my main quite a lot.
I'm gonna go on and try right now.
Yeah, do it.
It's either based off of playtime or a month. I'm pretty sure I recall reading
It's
it.
dependent on how much AP and time your account has, according to RNGOP.
That's kind of weird.
That is kind of weird.
That sounds about right.
Not that AP is hard to get, I guess, but anyway.
Yeah.
So yeah, Tuesday. I mean, I do expect that there will be a patch on Tuesday.
Yeah.
Probably some balanced stuff.
I'd say
Probably a new
balanced
current
patch.
event.
Yeah, I like the current
And that's
events.
about it.
I'm having
And
fun with
gem
the current
stuff.
events right now.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was kind of
Like,
a cool
there's
boss
not-
thing.
I mean, clearly not going to be a living story. I don't
No,
think it's going to be
no,
any kind
no,
of large.
no.
It's not going to be any kind of large, super
on.
big patch. But
The private guild banks are the same way because I actually have one.
It doesn't
You can't-
work. You can't
you
transfer
can't.
gold. You can't transfer over 500 gold through it. A week, I think, or is it? Yeah, a week. Yeah. That's really weird.
Why? So I saw build templates appear on Reddit a little while ago. I didn't really read it that much, but someone gave a reason as to why they haven't done build templates yet, and I don't remember what it was. Do you guys know why they would
I didn't
possibly
see it.
not do build
I'm sad I
templates?
missed it actually now because I've been begging for build templates for
Why?
literal years.
Why?
It would make my life easier.
But I mean, okay. So when I switch from fresh air to staff, I have to press 2 buttons.
What
Right.
if I switch from heal Tempest to DPS Tempest?
But then I have to switch. Let's say, okay. So let's say you go from worst case scenario, you go from staff DPS to Auramancer healer. You have to swap. You have to swap in water.
Armor.
Yeah, armor. I get,
Checks,
that's kind of a pain in the ass.
weapons.
Yeah, but I mean,
So regardless, it's still like
it's a mild inconvenience.
it's still like 12 button clicks instead of 1.
For me, and I know this isn't going to affect a ton of people, but for me, it's about remembering all the different builds across a whole bunch of different classes. Now,
And-
I don't play 9 classes because I don't even have 9 characters, but the 4 or 5 characters I do have, I don't remember all the little variations that I need for everything, for depending on which encounter you're doing and whatever the case is. And I would imagine that world versus world builds could be included in the build template as well.
I would like to be able to switch between Power Reaper and Condi Reaper without spending 3 minutes.
I have, like, since ArenaNet obviously listens to all my suggestions and puts them in the game, I have an idea that would make some players annoyed, but would have a very good would give a very good incentive for ArenaNet to make build templates. As this. Build templates are now in the game. You have a list or whatever, you could create them, set them up, and it changes your traits as to what you want for the build template. However, you need to buy from the gem store a bank tab type thing that houses the gear for that extra template if you want to have the ability to switch gears back and forth. Otherwise, it takes it directly from your inventory.
I would just buy that immediately.
Yeah.
Boots, you fucking
Monetize
genius,
it.
man. I actually love that solution. That's actually really nice. Yeah. I like that a lot. No, how much would you sell that for though? 1k gems per slot, or what?
That might be
Say that
no,
again.
not
What
per
is
slot.
it? What is it?
No, per slot, per armor set, per armor set.
Per armor set.
You know what I mean?
I was looking at something else.
He tuned him out.
Yeah.
No, not each use. That would be horrible. Now, he was saying that you should be able to purchase kind of a type of inventory slot that works for armor sets, so you can just swap them out by clicking stuff.
Mm-hmm. Now, you'd still be able to use the build template, just for the traits. You'd be able to switch back and forth, and the armor wouldn't change if you don't buy this gem store item. But you need the space in the bank to be able to do this, right? You need those locations. So there you go.
I would buy that. Yeah, that would be good value, honestly.
Yeah.
For 1,000 gems?
Maybe 500 gems. For us, it would be great.
I could see them charging 800.
800, yeah, that makes sense too.
Huh. Or maybe just like a normal bank tab, which is 600. I want to say.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. You should be able to get more bank tab slots as well. I have so much junk and I can't get rid of it. I'm incapable of deleting things.
Do you have your max? Do you have your bank
Yeah,
slots max?
I have 14 tabs, Joe.
See, I don't, but mine is pretty full of crap right now. So yeah, I should probably get some.
And you know what's good about that too is it serves a multi-purpose, because a lot of people are running around with 4 sets of gear in their inventory. So instead you just put them in these special bank slots that are sort of like infinitely retrievable, but it costs gems, obviously.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not unreasonable for convenience items to cost gems. You know what I wish they just put in the gem store? Just fucking let me buy my permanent contracts, yo. I know I can kind of do it with gems, but it's so expensive, man.
They make more money off Black Lion keys than they would off the permanent contracts.
Yep.
You think?
Yeah.
Because of clowns gambling, that's why.
Wow.
Yeah.
Gambling is very destructive.
Somehow me and Brazil need to find out a way to set up a Guild Wars 2 gambling site and become president CEO of it.
Yeah, and then don't disclose it, right? And then just advertise it in your YouTube videos? You want to do that, Inks?
Absolutely.
All right,
Yes,
I'm in.
Yep.
I'm going to delete... I'll delete the TeaTime VOD. No one will ever know. Let's go.
We'll just call it mmoscrit.com.
I was going to call it Guild Wars 2 Lotto, but, I mean, that's all good, right? Scrit Lotto. They already have that in the game. They already have the Scrit Lottery. You can lose all your money unless you're Choxy, right?
Yeah, unless you're Choxy.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I mean, come on. I'm pretty sure anyone who's ever won with the Scrit Ecto Gambler, they're actually paid off by ArenaNet to make people just do it. They've been paid off by the Scrit. There's just no way.
I don't know. Like,
people can't be that lucky. Fucking ridiculously lucky.
Somebody left a comment on one of my videos last week or something where
A death threat?
No. Where they had said that they made a lot of money off ecto gambling to fuel like 3 or 4 legendaries or something. It was crazy.
Well, I mean, it's gonna happen. There's gonna be people who are able to do that, and everybody else just loses money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some people are gonna get lucky. It's simple as that, isn't it? You know, some people will profit off it. Just
Somebody
not
has
me.
to win.
Yep. But you know what? A lot of people have to lose as well. And that's a rich script, man. Look at this guy. Look at this piece of shit. Kalethon. Lol, I made 4,500 G from the script this month.
I think Calthon was the one who left the comment, actually.
This guy.
Here's the thing: you'll lose it next month unless you realize I need to stop.
And look, you know, this guy. I last night I got the 5x500 ecto. Why can I not have some of this RNG? Okay, I do raids.
I don't know.
I get fuck all. I know a lot of people get shit as well. I mean, I would never even play the Mystic Forge because I know I would be even unluckier than Sam. Okay, Sam went like 3,000 rares or 5,000 rares or some shit, and you got one precursor. That I would be worse than that. I wouldn't even get any precursors. My RNG is
Take it from someone who is literally genetically inclined and has a genetic advantage to cheat and win at blackjack, and who did magic tricks for like 3 years. Gambling is not worth it.
No, it's not.
It's not.
Because if on average people won, the casinos wouldn't do anything.
It wouldn't exist.
Yeah, it wouldn't.
But
happen.
you know, gambling. I mean, there's a whole different type of gambling too. There's you can do poker, Texas Hold'em at a casino, and you're not playing against the house, so you're built to lose. You're playing against other people, so you might just be better than them. But
There's a little more skill involved in
all right.
different card games, but
Yes.
in the case of slot machines, which is what this stuff is.
All right, Kalethon. If you okay, I don't believe you, man. You send me 1K gold right now. We're good to go. Okay, I'll buy it. Okay. You hook me up. I'll turn my UI back on right now. You send me 1K gold.
I have a question. Okay, you three seem like the kind of people who receive donations from fans.
Oh man, you know this is a funny
Not
story.
often.
Tell me how much you guys have made from donations from fans, and I'll tell you how much I've made.
Is in cold hard cash or Guild Wars 2?
Cold hard gold from Guild Wars 2.
Cold hard gold.
Gold.
I think
Not much.
Or effective gold.
I want to say 5K, 4K.
Holy shit, man.
No,
Wow.
5K, 5K, yeah, 5K. And
Wow.
it's all because of one person, though. Let's be honest. It's all because
Okay,
of
call
one
him
person.
out. Give him a big shout out here.
I don't think it's him.
Or give her.
You don't think? I have no idea. Who
Probably
knows?
someone
Who
who's
knows on the internet, man? It could be anyone. Could be a mystery. But yeah.
I don't know. Less than 500 gold. I'm pretty
Okay.
sure.
I don't really know because I've been given like gem store minis before. I've been given gem
Yeah,
store stuff.
right.
I've gotten ghostly infusions from friends.
That's nice.
I don't know. I don't really know.
Okay. But not 5,000.
It's been but it's been it's also been
5,000.
spaced out over a long time too.
Right, yeah, yeah.
It's never been like there's one fan who gave me 1,000 gold. Just here you go, buddy. That's never happened.
Yeah,
I
that did happen.
received a plate of spaghetti from I think it was who was it? Was it Junior? No, Plenix? It was somebody raiding with you guys when I was raiding with them. It was
Oh, I get sent salt all the freaking time from people in the raid.
yeah, I got a plate of salt too. I think I mostly get food items costing 3 copper or less. It's pretty good. I'm a rich person in Guild Wars 2 nowadays
Aw,
because
you
of
know,
all my
you-
fans.
You need to attract the white knights, man. You want
I
those
do.
people. Yeah.
I do. Yeah. Here, hold on. Let me plead.
Some
for
are
people
better
to-
at some are better than others at doing so.
Give me stuff. Thank you.
There we go. Come
Yeah.
on, look. Boots, look at him. Come on. Yeah. Aw. You know, come on. We need to give him some stuff, man.
I
You need
mean,
to- you need
some
to
people
come-
get Some people get like multiple precursors a month given to them.
What's it's Bootspur, my account name.
Yes. Yeah, exactly. You know, we should start sending people fiery salsa when they die. That's actually a really good idea. And they're forced to use it. If they die in raids, they're forced to use the fiery salsa.
Why don't you just send them flame ram blueprints?
You That's a nice BM. Yeah, Boots, you should come raid with us.
What does
That'll be
BM mean?
Bad manner.
Bad manners. I learned that.
Is that not a well-known thing?
I think it just started becoming well known. Actually, I think it just started like maybe a month ago. Honestly,
I've heard you guys say it for a long time, but I never knew what it meant.
Yeah.
Like I knew like what context to use it in. I just didn't know what BM stood for.
Yeah. Oh. God damn! I don't. I feel like I don't even know what I feel like right now. I'm on the edge, man.
You
On
know
the
what
edge.
K is? If you say you're a BK,
No, what the hell is that?
there's a clan in Halo 2 called Bad Kids, and fucking all kinds
Bad
of
kids.
shit tier players joined it.
I'm a bad kid.
And so in Halo, if you called someone a BK, it was pretty insulting.
BM is right, but in Hearthstone, it's oh my goodness, Hearthstone. It's been went way longer than Hearthstone. What?
Hearthstone.
No. Yeah,
I'm gonna look it up.
Yeah, well, I don't know. Bad manner. I came across it in StarCraft. Yeah, it may or may not be originally. I mean, come on, realistically, it's been there, but you know.
Oh, okay. So if you look at BM meaning, it's bowel movement. By the way.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah. The
Okay, I can
StarCraft
look for bad
community is
manner.
amused at people using a 15-year-old term in BM.
Used by Korean computer players, it says.
Oh, really? Well,
Yeah,
that's
I
entirely
saw it.
possible. It's from StarCraft.
Urban
then.
Dictionary.
Oh shit! There's a bird outside my house right now. You
I wanna
guys hear
see if
that?
there's etymology of this.
I think the bird just fucking got eaten or some shit. I don't even know. Yeah.
Is it Thanksgiving?
Okay,
What's that?
so it's over 2 years. It's
You'll
over
be
2 years.
celebrating it soon. Whenever you've officially left the EU.
Eee. Well, no, we got Independence Day, man, and it's before yours as well.
Yeah, fuck you.
It's over 2 years old because
What
there's
can
a
I
red
say?
thread
We're
on
ju-
the League of Legends.
We're just
Uh,
copying you, right? We're just copying America.
Booze, no one cares about League of Legends. It's only
I know. I'm just
the
saying.
most
that-
popular video game that's ever existed.
Yeah, except for WoW.
I think
Uh,
League is bigger than WoW.
Currently, it's. I think
Probably
it's-
currently, maybe. Probably has more players,
WoW
right?
doesn't fill sports stadiums with people,
No, it doesn't.
and it never has.
It can't even fill movie stadiums.
Yeah.
Insect in China. In China, it does. What was it, like $30 million over North America, but $300 million in China alone?
Probably.
Yeah.
Failed in
insane.
North America, where that they probably thought their prime audience was. Excelled in China, and which was the opposite for Star Wars. Star Wars didn't do so well in China, but did very well everywhere else.
Why didn't it do so well in China?
What's that?
Why didn't it do so hot in China? Well, I guess because the original Star Wars didn't really.
They don't like it. I don't know.
They probably have enough oppressive dictators. They don't need the Sith Lords.
Oh yeah.
I don't know why it didn't do well. They don't like Star Wars, I guess.
I don't really
I
like
guess
Star
so.
Wars.
I think there was a reason
It's
for it. I
alright.
think it's because the original running of Star Wars.
I didn't think The Force
It-
Awakens was a very good movie.
Yeah, I think you said the only good movie was Clear and Present Danger, right?
It's pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
I gotta
Shrek.
say, I have
Shrek.
I have to amend that.
Okay.
And The Man Who Shot Liberty Valance is a good movie.
The man
I
who
don't think I've seen
shot
that.
It's the only John Wayne movie I like.
an 8.1 on 10. That you're going up higher on IMDb
Ooh.
nowadays. It's
Yeah.
impressive.
It's 2 hours long, but it's a really good movie.
Do you like Lawrence of Arabia?
No.
Oh. Okay, never mind. That's a good movie.
Yeah.
How about The Great Escape?
Anyway,
I'll watch it, but I don't.
Inks
If
wants to
it's
get
on,
back
I'll
on
watch
topic. Bring us back on
Shut up,
topic,
Inks.
Inks.
Fuck you.
Come on, Inks, let's go.
movie talk with Boots in Brazil.
Yeah.
It's just me naming movies and asking if Brazil likes them or what.
Are they good?
The
Yeah.
2010 True Grit was pretty good too. I watched that the other day.
2010 True Grit. Okay.
The original one shit. Even though
Yeah.
John Wayne won an Oscar for it for some reason.
Let's get into the movies.
Let's get right into the
There you
news.
go.
You do that so well, man. That's so good. Can you say Killer Keemstar?
What's up, Trauma Alert Nation? I'm your host, Killer Keemstar.
That's really
I
good,
saw
actually.
15-year-olds.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of quotes I can
fantastic.
say that aren't racist, but what's the one? He's like, fuck Alex, kill yourself. That was really good.
Hey,
I'm
Brazil,
furious.
Listen, he's not racist. He was just trolling.
He was only pretending to be retarded, guys. Come on.
Yeah. And come on, it was an old video. So it doesn't count anymore. Fucking hell.
Yeah.
Mm.
Wow, what the fuck is this link?
That's pretty good.
Yeah. Yeah. Focus, people. Focus! I don't know. What should we talk about Guild Wars 2? We got anything else to talk about?
Well, I could do a play-by-play of the France-Portugal game if you'd like.
Okay, who's winning?
It's 0-0.
It's
19
true, of
minutes.
course. Of course.
Yeah.
When did it start? How long have they been playing?
19 minutes and 30 seconds.
Oh, okay.
20
Okay.
minutes of kicking a ball around in a circle.
Nani is trying to deke past who was that? Pogba?
Oh, he just failed.
He
Now
failed,
back to
yeah.
the side.
Oh.
Yeah. Oh, you're watching too?
No, but I know how these games go.
And someone just kicked it out of bounds.
Do you guys feel Guild Wars 2 will have the same content drought after every expansion?
After the next expansion, yes. If there are any more after that, I don't know.
Yeah,
Because I
you know,
think they lost so much. I think that they're like honestly probably 2 years behind development.
I think actually that they got so mercilessly eviscerated by the community over Heart of Thorns. I think they might play it safe and actually get some stuff rolling this time. Seriously.
I think that's what they're set up. The reason why we have this huge content drought after Heart of Thorns is because they're pacing it out from now on. They're gonna be. They have the teams. They have the team for specifically on the expansion, and they have the team for the live game. Yeah. It's gonna be slower than it's been before.
I don't disagree. I think that the living story stuff, or at least the first episodes that we're going to play, is basically done. It's probably been done for a little while. They're holding it all back so they can build up a bunch of content so that they can keep a pace up going into 2017.
Yeah.
Was that really worth, or is that really worth the months that players have been waiting to actually do something in game? So the next question
that's a good
is,
question.
how long of a drought is there going to be when people switch off of Living Story 3 more into full-time expansion mode? How much of a drought is going to be there?
It depends on how they view how much time their expansion is worth, I suppose. Like the new expansion, it's possible. I doubt it, but it's possible the reason why we have a drought now and they put all of their eggs in one basket with Heart of Thorns is possible because they thought that it would take people a lot more time and that people would be a lot more interested in Heart of Thorns for a longer time. But I doubt it. I mean,
They tried to design
they
it
screwed
that
the
way.
pooch a little bit there.
They tried to design it that way, right?
Yeah,
Grind
but-
the meta. Grind that meta.
Yeah.
I'm grinding.
But that was an experiment that failed, and now they're I
They've done
think
a lot.
they're wiser. I think hopefully they're wiser now, and they're going to have more regular content. It'll just be a lot slower than it has been in the past.
It's interesting. I think there's going to be a smaller drought between Living Story 3 and the next expansion. Now, by smaller, I mean we had 10 months of drought before Heart of Thorns and then 10 months after. So it'll still be a drought, I think, between Living Story 3 and the expansion, but smaller. My concern is after we get expansion 2, how much of a drought between Living Story 4 or whatever we're on at that point.
Yeah, I mean, a few people have been talking about a few things in the comments that it's true. Why not bring back Queen's Gauntlet? Why not bring back some other festivals that we've had in while this drought's been happening?
I don't know.
Because it would give people something to do.
I don't know, and it seems like their new way of dealing with it is they're not going to talk about content they're working on until it's released, and then they'll talk about that content. And I don't know that because of the drought that we're in, I don't know that is a great idea either. But that is what we have. Right?
It's really just I don't even really want to. It's difficult to even begin to comment on this sort of thing because it really depends. The drought itself depends on how much they have prepared now, what the cadence is going to be. If it's going to be every few weeks or whatever, or every month.
No, 2 to 3 months.
No. I mean, suppose they have suppose they have now created a year worth. So every 2 to 3 months, they now have, let's say 3 months. Let's say they have 4 episodes of Living Story 3 ready now. Maybe, because think about it, they were working on Living Story 3 at the start of the release of Heart of Thorns, right? Because they were busy doing the expansion up until then, probably, right? They didn't have much, or maybe. So in
I think
theory,
they didn't start working on it until after the expansion launched.
Yeah. So suppose that's true. In theory, if they have a year of Living Story kind of prepped up now, or up till the next expansion, say, dropping in 3-month or 2-month kind of chunks, maybe they have enough time during that time, now that they've got their structures in place, that they'll be able to have a relatively short drought.
I mean, in the perfect world, sure, yeah, absolutely. Let's say that they've worked out Living Story 3 for an entire year, like you're saying. That means that when Living Story starts to launch, not everybody, but most of that team, they can then shift to expansion mode to work on the expansion. We already know there's a small team there. They can make that a much larger team, and then leave sort of a maintenance crew behind to fix Living World 3 stuff, because there's going to be bugs and problems, whatever. To work on the expansion, but
I'm sure the expansion team could be in charge of that. Like they're not going to have anything to do for probably they're supposed to be on break or something, but they're going to be in charge of fixing all the bugs of their old expansion.
The expansion team is already set to do the next expansion, right? 70 people or whatever it is.
Yeah, exactly. So that team, once the new expansion comes out, will probably be the one in charge of fixing the problems with the expansion. And then the Living Story team will just continue.
Which, by the way, they're pretty good at, because that was the team that did the April 19th patch that we got, where it fixed a lot of Heart of Thorns problems. So
very nice.
There you go. The big question is going to be, what kind of drought are we going to see from expansion 2 until whatever we get after that? And hopefully not so bad. But
I don't think it'll be so bad. I think we have much better idea of what the structure of ArenaNet is right now and what their structure is going forward, because I think they have a much better idea now as well.
Yes.
I don't.
Yeah.
And I think that it was probably a little wishy-washy before now, and that's everybody's on the expansion. Everybody was on Living World back then, and the stuff going into the game. From the time the game was originally released to the time when they started thinking about doing an expansion, and then eventually everybody was on the expansion, and now they've actually got a structure.
Yeah. There's a question we're being asked about how can they make it replayable content, and I think, well, for a start, they will have achievements again. There's kind of another playthrough, because it depends if they attach. You know what they really need to do? They need to attach more stat-choosing ascended trinkets to Living Story. Then everyone's doing those things, right?
And
because
options.
Wait, what? By options, what do you mean?
Kill timey.
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, obviously, the branches of the story have to converge because it's an MMO, right? It has to happen. Things have to happen. But yeah, I think that's something that really, really needs to happen. There needs to be diverging paths that obviously, converge. No, but I think there could be though.
Yeah.
I
There
really
should
don't
be.
think
That's
so.
that's honestly what I would
there's-
really like to see.
There's a very big problem with that.
What's the problem,
So I'll
Marcel?
say.
with
It's a
divergent
mass amount
paths.
of work. It's a huge amount of work to do. I mean, yeah. Especially if they want to have the consequences actually matter as well.
So
Yeah.
I don't disagree with what you're saying. I would love that. I would love divergent paths that actually were divergent paths. But with a lot of the talk, with a lot of the story talk that we've seen since the launch of Heart of Thorns, it just does not seem like that is the direction that they want to go or that they're heading.
It's also an MMO, so like it's not a first person game.
Yeah.
Everybody's playing the same story. So when they come back with new story afterwards, and your choices mattered, there's gonna be
Your choices don't matter.
It's gonna be insane.
Yeah,
You
but
can't do that.
They don't matter in the end, though. That's the point, right? And I accept that as a limitation of the genre, right? But you can have different routes to the same place within your own personal story. It's personal story, right? You know, it's all character based, and you can get to the same place by different routes. You know, and you know, maybe I don't know. I guess could you have some character death discrepancies? I guess you probably can't, can you? That's
No.
probably a little bit dodgy, but I don't know. I guess some people would be triggered with regards to the lore. Yeah, they would. Okay, no, that's a terrible idea. Don't do that. Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I think it's very difficult to make living story replayable, right? I mean, unless you have the events, but then the events are temporary as well a lot of the time. When it happens within the game world, the big events, you know, the new bosses and stuff, unless it's stuff like Silver Waste, it won't stick around. So if you're fighting a big villain in a world event or something, or the forces of a villain, then they eventually you beat them and then they leave and then they're gone permanently. So that's not a replayability thing. But I don't know.
The
it's very
replayability,
difficult.
unfortunately, is probably going to be a new map that has some sort of
Yes.
meta
Yes.
that will have rewards that make you do it again and again and again and again until you want to kill yourself and gouge your eyes out, and that's going to be replayable content.
Yep. Well, I mean, I think that will be certainly one aspect of it. But I mean, come on. What about dailies that actually give you
Yeah,
good stuff?
sure.
Because I don't
Aliens.
know. People have been suggesting this in streams actually. I think raid dailies would be really good because right now there's not a lot of motivation to replay the raids, and they should have raid dailies. Yeah. Come on, raid dailies. Kill
It's a good idea.
Gorsival.
It's a very
Or
good idea.
simple without
Kill
druids.
sloth. Yeah, without druids. Or killer. You know. Yeah. Or something
Daily
like that.
last cannon Sabbath.
Ah, actually,
Yeah.
that's
Oh.
You get 3 boxes of Raiders rewards for it. So like the Damask and shit.
no. But well, suppose they wanted to deal with the prices of ascended armor. That could be a way to do it, right? Have the achievements repeatable. So every time you do slippery stubbling, you get a you know, the chest of Raiders shit. And
Yeah,
that would
that makes sense.
also,
Do it again.
you could also drive down the prices of some other stuff. Although I guess, you know, it's obviously very complicated to do.
No
with
draft
this.
zero.
No updrafts Zera. Well, there are no updrafts in Zera, so we already do that. There's only ley lines.
No ley line zero. Yeah.
Yeah. Now this is the huge problem with raid dailies that Nexus SC has just brought up. You cannot select a boss you want to go and do, and if everyone's cleared, you're fucked. Although you can very easily find someone in the LFG, so I guess it's not too much of a big deal, right?
Yeah, but that prohibits dailies from
Yeah.
that sort of thing.
I think I don't know.
I think it would be a lot more generic. I think it would be like kill a boss,
Yeah.
kill a raid boss.
What
or-
about raid weeklies?
Yeah, maybe.
Ah,
Yeah, that'd
yeah.
be fun.
They've moved away
Yeah,
from
yeah,
that
yeah.
system. Oh,
I like the monthly
System.
achievements. I like those.
Yeah.
They're gone now.
I don't know why they don't make the login rewards like they get better every day you log in instead of just being on like a month and they loop.
Well, I mean,
Like
it doesn't
your
really
first
make any
month
difference on
of
the end,
logging
right?
in straight, you get 25 laurels. I think that's like what you get now. The next month of
Ooh.
logging in straight, you get 50 laurels.
What? What? How?
And login, I don't know.
How?
What if they did that?
That because
Why?
and then the month after that it just increases.
Yeah, 100.
So you're saying you have to log in every day, though?
Yeah.
That
If you miss a day, it
that
resets.
doesn't
I
work.
don't know.
Aw.
That'd make people mad.
You make people mad.
Well, more than just making people mad, think of what it does to the economy.
Yeah.
Got so many laurels. There's so many
It
tier
makes them
6
mad.
crafting materials.
It makes the rich get richer, and by the rich I mean the people who have no life. It makes those people.
Wow. What are you trying to say?
Nothing. I'm not trying to say
You have
anything.
to log in, Boots. Come on. You can't even log in every day.
Yeah,
No,
but
he
what,
can't be
what if
bothered.
you're on vacation? What if you want to have a life? What if you?
You
Just
pay.
lol if
What?
you don't
Log
take your
in?
computer with you.
Yeah, exactly. Or
Vacation.
just get someone else to do it for you. Just log in every day.
Yeah. Anyway, I don't think it's a great idea.
No,
Just-
I don't know. I
I
don't
don't
know
think
about
it's
that.
a good idea either. That'd just be funny.
Yeah.
Dear, dear.
Okay, but what? So that's an interesting topic of conversation. What could they do in the new expansion besides like new stuff new features they could bring? But what could they do to make whatever happens to the new expansion really fun and repeatable?
Hmm. I think it's difficult to in an MMO, honestly. Right?
Yeah.
If they could, yeah, I don't know, have some kind of incredibly dynamic event system, right? So just it really kind of matters what happens on the map, and there's different stuff that goes on. Because right now it's on rails, and that does seem to be what they kind of want to go with Dry Top and Silver Wastes. It's kind of relatively on rails, and the Heart of Thorns events are. I mean, Verdant Brink is less so, kind of, right? Because you kind of, it's more of an individual thing where there's loads of crazy shit going on at once. But I mean, yeah, you kind of need something like dungeons, right? You need that sort of thing that has mechanics to deal with that are engaging. Because open world stuff, I mean, the chat Garant, I mean, come on, you just staff auto attacker, you stand up and you bop him on the head till he dies, right? The Octovine, you fucking tag each Octovine, then you go AFK till everyone else kills it, then you run around and loot the chests. It's not the most engaging thing ever, is it?
They could actually add Guild Wars to Guild Wars. Good
Add
point.
Guild
They could
Wars to
finally-
Guild Wars.
They could finally have Guild
We
versus Guild.
talked about this. We talked about this a little bit. Adding an Alterac Valley kind of map, or a Warsong Gulch type of map, or something to facilitate something like that.
Yeah.
And I think that they sort of played with that at one point with that whatever that map was called, and they scrapped the idea. It didn't work, or they didn't like it, or I don't know the reason.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah.
They have.
Yeah, Neok, because this is the kind of thing you need, right? You need stuff that is dynamic, right, to keep people engaged. It has to switch it up constantly. You need to kind of be able to make a lot more content that's actually there. You need to have the illusion of more content, right? Because otherwise, obviously ArenaNet, they can't make a totally infinite series of dungeons. That would be silly. But if they can have some kind of random generation sort of thing going on, then maybe that can work, right? It will just put stuff together and things will happen. But I don't know. I think it's. I mean, this is a big conundrum for ArenaNet. How do they make it replayable?
Adventures haven't been really grabbed onto by the community in HOT yet. Like it's just like an extra little feature that people are aware is there. Some people aren't aware it's even there in the new maps, but nobody really plays them that often. But if they could, it's something that could be interesting in new maps. Like if they make really engaging adventure type things that are replayable and there's a reason to replay them, like you get better rewards somehow if you do better at them. Not just like the bronze, silver, gold, but better than other people at them as well. That could be
I don't
something
know.
interesting.
Adventures suffer from a couple of problems. Accessibility, even though they're more accessible than they were, still not quite as accessible as they probably could or should be. And the rewards are kind of totally meh.
That's what I'm saying. If they improved the rewards and made them more available, more obvious and desirable, and more, I mean, the adventures are pretty fun in HOT. They're not like groundbreaking stuff, but it's a nice break from the regular Guild Wars 2 pace. You know, it's something different. But I wonder, yeah, I'm sure they could come up with good ideas for that too. Something with the sandworms.
Mm.
I don't know.
It's a really tricky one, actually.
Yeah.
World versus World has no real objective. Fight. Oh, what the?
Uh-oh.
This is.
Oh
different.
no, Brazil!
Oh.
He's
We
wait.
lost Brazil.
Hi.
No.
My camera just what the? All the
Mine did
video is
too.
gone. The video
Yeah,
is ruined.
mine's gone too.
Oh, hang on. Let me turn it back on.
You need Skype Premium to make a group call.
Oh
Find
no!
out first.
We're all gonna be grey. No!
Oh my god.
Do we just need to restart it?
Nah, it'll be fine. If Brazil, you can just turn it back on and it will just be grey for the rest of the tea time.
So, by the way, guys, little update. Cristiano Ronaldo went off in pain. He is no longer playing in this game, which means that Portugal has no players anymore.
0 players.
Wow.
Here.
It was just him versus all the French players.
Essentially,
It's pretty
yeah.
impressive.
Yeah.
It's pretty impressive. No wonder why he hurt himself. I mean, that must be pretty strenuous to play against all those guys at the same
That's
time.
it. Exactly. I think that's probably why he hurt himself, because now he has an excuse as to why Portugal's going to lose against France. He'll just be like, I did what I could, but it wasn't my fault.
Wow.
Yeah.
I brought you guys here.
They have to limit fractal dailies, though. Come on, and limiting raids is necessary as well. If you were able to spam raids, it'd be ridiculous. You know, you could just farm the easy boss, right? It would be silly. You could just farm Sloth over and just kill it in 2 minutes, re-enter the instance, and just go again. And with fractals, yeah, of course they have to time gate fractal dailies. I think how insane it would be if you could just farm them constantly. It would be crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
There has to be some element of time gating. Otherwise, you know what's going to happen? The players that have mastered the aspect of the game will just grind it until they're all rich and everyone else has worthless materials again. Oh, we're back to normal. Good.
Yay.
Yeah. I wish that fractals were more like Rifts and G-Rifts and Diablo with procedurally generated levels, enemies, and bosses. But that would be fucking brutal for Guild Wars 2 to implement, man.
Yeah.
I mean... this is bear in mind.
Awesome.
Can you even imagine that with the spaghetti code as well? It'd be fucking insane.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good luck.
People
with that.
speedrunning raids on day 3 of a new raid release. Honestly, there were guilds doing that with Wing 3, just straight up. So, well, not on the day after probably. They were already speed clearing. And honestly, with a lot of the wings, people were farming the raids within a week to 2 weeks. Right, you know, it's just, you know.
I mean,
you can't stop them. You can't stop them doing it.
I mean, it's not too. You know, it's interesting. It's not too crazy and out of the ordinary for that to happen in MMOs. When you don't need to change your gear, when you don't need to change
there
your
you go.
gear.
There you go. Because I mean, the reason why it takes players in WoW to beat raids in like a week rather than a day is because they cannot physically do it with the gear they have. They have to gear up in order to beat the content.
And Guild Wars 2 doesn't have anything to the equivalency of a hard mode or a whatever it's called in WoW now. I forget what they call it, but basically a super hard mode, right?
Oh,
Guild
Mythic.
Wars 2 doesn't have Mythic, right? Guild Wars 2 doesn't have any sort of Mythic mode yet. I would love it to, but
and this is we're gonna go back to Guild Wars 1 here. They should add a hard mode to entire maps, like we said on the previous tea time. Then you've just got free content. Every single map can be turned into hard mode.
And
players
it
really
seems
hate
like
it though when you just increase the health pool and stuff. You need to actually add.
Yeah. They can. There's kind of several key features that changed in hard mode in Guild Wars 1. The mobs all move faster, they all attack faster, they have different skill sets, and they cast stuff faster. But they also had less HP, but more health regeneration. It was kind of weird. So there are these things that they could potentially just roll out across everything, and it will be good. No, not yeah. We'll kind of increase all stats, but you could add new mechanics and stuff to all the meta.
You need to add new mechanics on top of it. Yeah. If you look at a decent example, not a perfect example, but a decent example that me and Brazil covered was the new Fractal, the new Cliffside. Whereas you increase in level, he actually has a couple more mechanics, like every couple of levels or whatever.
So then every mob, you're saying, would have more mechanics in the world?
In the dream situation, yeah. Because right now, all the non-boss mobs, they're no threat to you, right? Because you've just got
maybe veteran and elite and champions would have extra moves in a hard mode, but normal mobs. I mean, it does seem like a lot of work to get every single mob increased. Yeah.
Yeah, but there will be some things you could just globally spread around over stuff. But no, it will be a lot of work. But that is something that you could, kind of get sorted out.
But then you kind of split the player base, don't you, a little bit, if you do that?
In the open world, you do.
Yeah.
I think there's a lot of people doing open world stuff though. I mean, if you can find groups for raid bosses pretty much the entire time, right? And yeah, there are the open world guilds as well that kind of do all the, did the first triple worm kill, they did that quad kill and stuff.
The TTS and the ATTs, and there's I forget the name of the European ones, TXS or something. Absolutely, those guilds would go.
Oh geez, yeah.
And this is exactly what they want. And honestly, a lot of their player base is doing open world a lot of the time.
I mean, those guilds are making their own content in the sense of they try to get the fastest whatever kill or the whatever completion they can do, right? Because they don't have any kind of hard mode sort of thing. So guilds like that would love it, would eat it up. TSX. I'm sorry, I don't know.
Zephyria, just
the way the letters go.
Yeah, Zephyria, just to let you know, I'm saying it's too hard because on a time scale kind of thing, like. It's a lot of effort for possibly not that much reward.
It's a lot of work.
Yeah, like the whole point of companies is to budget their time properly and their effort properly. So
TXS is dead. My apologies. I didn't know.
Rest in pepperonis.
Rest in pepperonis.
But there's some other replayability stuff. They could have some more guild missions. Get some of those fresh guild missions in there, because they're actually kind of fun. I played some of those. I haven't really done them. But I guess after a while they get incredibly boring. I can kind of imagine just kind of...
So, I used to do guild missions every week, and for 2 years, or maybe longer than that, I don't even know now. But there hasn't been anything, like, Heart of Thorns didn't add any new guild missions. It changed up the way guild missions work a little bit, which made them... At first, it made them a little bit more frustrating. By now that it's fine and sort of ironed out. But it didn't add anything new. There's no new jumping puzzle. There's no new monsters to hunt in the open world. There should have been some to hunt in, like, the Heart of Thorns maps. There's no new... but then again, I guess then you have to have Heart of Thorns. But anyway, there's no new races. Like, they didn't add new guild missions, and they really need to, or they should. It kind of feels like they just kind of... And obviously, they didn't forget about it, but it feels like they just, whatever.
Yeah, what are they going to do, I guess, in the next expansion? Because I don't know if they're going to do anything for the quarterly update or for Living World, but definitely they should have extra stuff for guilds, maybe, and the guild hall, and just guilds in general in the next expansion. What could they possibly do to improve guilds and make them more guildy? I don't know. Like what are more improvements we could do to help guilds in an expansion, let's say?
You need a lot more activities they can do together. Someone mentioned making adventures into some sort of some sort of guild activity. Absolutely.
Yeah,
you could have those adventures.
Scale them up and
right.
Yeah.
And
nice.
your guild could go in and compete against each other for a guild mission or something. That adds a lot. Not only does that add a lot of fun and replayability, but It gives something for you to do together as a guild.
Mm-hmm.
You also add GVG.
Add GVG. Okay, now let's talk about guild halls specifically. What could they add to guild halls to improve them?
They really need to take a look at, and I'm sure this is a technical limitation, but they need to take a look at how many items can be placed in a given area.
Just for the decorations, you mean?
For the decoration wise, because you can't really do anything overly elaborate with decorations because you quickly hit that cap of too many decorations in a given area, and on top of that, too many decorations in general for the entire guild hall. Don't get me wrong. There's some really cool guild halls out there that are really well decorated. But I'm talking about if you want to set up a little cove with a little chair and a little table and a little lamp and a little whatever, like create this intricate little corner for yourself, you quickly hit this cap of not being able to decorate.
It's interesting. Someone says put crafting stations in there. I think that is something that would be good for guilds to have, but then you get the problem of less and less people being in towns and this feeling less and less like a living world.
Yeah.
So it's interesting about guild halls because they're instanced and available onto your guild. It's just like a hard mode would be. It sort of separates the community in a way. And I think it's still good. I just wonder what things they could add to it that maybe they should do something to make guild halls more visible to people who aren't in the guild, more visible to other people, like being able to show it off somehow other than just inviting people to your guild hall.
Right.
And if they, well, I think, and more on the kind of dividing stuff up. If they make guild halls too convenient, they start to invalidate the Queen's Terrace Pass and stuff like that, right? You know, I mean, this is kind of the problem. I mean, damn, if you could get a Fractals of the Mist portal for the guild hall, dungeon portals, and raid portals, I mean, holy shit, I would never leave, right? It's just, that's just such a good idea.
But that's in some ways that's kind of good because then you're relieving pressure from those maps. In a way, right? The downside is then you'll just spend all your time there, and I don't know if they really want that necessarily.
Exactly.
But does it really matter that you're AFKing in the terrace portal that only some people can get in if you spent money anyway? I don't know.
The guilds that score the most in World vs. World can get access to unique guild halls in cities that people can visit if they enable it.
Oh. They probably wouldn't enable it,
bad.
Deathmore brought up a good point as well, where the guild hall needs to be more living with NPCs wandering around, etc., etc. Yeah. I mean, they're desolate wastelands of nothing basically right now. Feels dead.
Well, also
it's because they're so big.
But no. But what about actually mounting attacks, right? Because the whole point of it is it's this, you know, staging ground against the dragons, but you don't actually stage any assaults from the guild hall, right? So, and that's how they could add new guild missions, right? You could have it gets launched from the guild hall, and you have to go out into the world and do things.
What if you could stage assaults on other people's guild halls?
Attack on the guild halls.
I think they had that in Guild Wars 1.
I think so too. Maybe
called,
something like that.
I think it was called shit. What was it called? It was called Having Fun in a Game, I think.
No.
Yeah, that was it.
No, I've kind of reconsidered on the raid portals. I think you could actually have those. In fact, I think I think portals to the dungeons and fractals and stuff. I think you can have because it doesn't overlap with other things, right? And that's what you need to do. So that's a great idea. In fact, by Twitch chat, because if you have stuff that is different but still very useful, then you don't kind of overlap with all the other convenient stuff in the game. So you won't have people only there. You'll have people exclusively there when they're organizing for stuff and hanging out. You know, and you can go to your dungeon or get those fractal dailies done. Yeah, I don't know. Exactly. See, look, going to Lion's Arch for fractals is cancer. There you go.
Going into fractals is cancer. There you go.
But is it cancer with 4 necros and a healer?
Yeah, because you have to do it daily.
But it's pretty good value though. Think of all that free money.
it is.
Free
And
money.
that's another example that just makes me so mad. People like meta. This is faster. Meta. It's faster to take a Chronomancer. It's faster to take a Warrior. Yeah, but that means you have to play. If you play a Tempest Healer and 4 Condi Necros, you can just literally take your hands off the keyboard and walk away. You don't have to do anything. It's literally AFK at that point. I don't know why you would try whenever it's a difference of like 5 minutes, maybe. Like, if that.
You could make fucking guild halls like, what's the mobile game? Like Clash of Clans. Right, so you could, you can set up traps around your guild hall, and then the other guild attacks. And you have to design, and oh my god, you have to design a system of events that the other guild will fail to complete. Oh my god. And then you attack other guild halls. It'll be amazing. ArenaNet partner? What? What? Shit, that's upside down. ArenaNet sellout feels good, man.
I have something
Feels
even
good.
better than that.
Yeah, guild hall orcs must die mode, exactly, yeah. That's basically what you said earlier? Well, I missed that shit, I'm sorry, man.
I don't know what that is.
A whole page. Oh fuck. Of injection fairy lilies.
Ooh. Show us the waifu page, Brazil.
No,
I still have that image, man.
no, you don't.
No, I don't. that link, though, it could be there.
Brazil, are you still in EG?
Do you like?
the answer to
Do you
that.
you like EG Brazil? You like? Yeah, that's a good.
Yeah.
Game. Let's see what else is going on here.
You want to take questions?
Yeah. Okay. Ask us things.
Yeah,
I
Boots
guess.
really needs to go see France win.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
it's too late to go to the bar now.
What?
What?
It's
It's
4
like
o'clock.
4 o'clock.
Yeah. That's your point.
Yeah.
When do you go to the bar normally?
Yeah, you know,
When there's a game.
I mean, I know you're
Go to the pub.
Canadian, and it's kind of culture to just be at the bar all day long, but
When
you
there's when there's like a game going on, you go to the pub. I mean, it's only this early when it's like a soccer game like this, because it's
excuse
in
me,
Europe.
what?
A
What
football game. Oh, I'm sorry. Aren't you from Philadelphia? But no, like, because it's from Europe, so obviously they're playing at 8 o'clock or something, and here it's
Yeah.
during the day. So you gotta get your drink on early.
And then everybody can drive around in their cars with their flags of whichever country won and honk their horns.
Yeah,
It's the Canadian way.
yeah, exactly. But no, it's too late now. It's already halfway through the game. I wouldn't get there in time. Oh well.
That was someone mentioned Necro, and I just reminded me of something, made me remember something. There's also another leak that apparently apparently Necro gets main hand torch in the next expansion,
Ah.
which would be
Main hand torch.
yeah.
I like it.
So they're gonna go down the. But wait, that means you have to give up the scepter.
My rod core would be more useful.
You'd have to give up the scepter, yeah.
So they're
So
gonna
wait-
go for a kind of a Condi route then, right?
Well,
Probably.
yeah, it would have to. It would have. I would imagine it'd be burning.
Hmm.
So
Burning
then
torches.
are they gonna completely change
Completely
Doomfire then? Otherwise,
I
it seems
hope.
very
It's-
underwhelming.
Doomfire is really bad. It's always been bad.
Well, that you're assuming that they don't add a really fast shroud, like even faster than Reaper Shroud.
You
So
think
maybe
they're I don't think they're gonna change Shroud again.
Oh god. Oh my goodness. What they could do is they could change Death Shroud depending on whether you have a torch or not. And if you do the auto attack, you like shoot out fireballs and shit.
yeah, multiple ones.
Yeah.
Maybe. Well, maybe not if you have a torch or not, but if you have the elite spec or not. But still, it seems like a cop out to change Shroud again for another Necro elite.
Why wouldn't they change it again?
I guess not. Yeah, you're right. Why not? It
I mean,
is.
that's
It is
that's
the main.
mechanic, right?
It is the main mechanic of the class.
Right.
Fair enough.
That's-
It's
It'd
like
be-
Guardians and Virtues.
It'd be really nice to have like, I don't know, a torch, like a shroud focused just on burning and main hand torch too. Like burning applies, like burning generates life force, some shit.
Hmm.
I don't know.
Huh.
You want to talk about Axe?
Axe.
Sure. What about X? How bad? How nobody
I'm
really
gonna
cares about it?
let it sink into Brazil for a second.
Yeah, I know you're going. Apparently, Mesmer's gonna get main hand axe too.
Main hand axe.
Where are you getting this information?
When
From
don't
someone
worry.
I don't believe, but
Okay.
Main hand axe.
Main hand X. Okay. That'd be nice. I mean, they only have Scepter and Sword right now, right? And I mean, nobody really likes Axe right now, so maybe if they make it good, people will start wanting to buy the.
But then they'll have to make a new legendary axe because this just looks retarded on Mesmer. Frostfang, come on, what the hell?
I suppose.
Astrolaria.
Oh, that's true. Oh, but
yeah,
even that,
good
it's
point.
wrong. It's the
Reaver
wrong
of
color.
the
It's
Mist.
the
Reaver of the
wrong
Mists.
color.
And Reaver of the
Reaver of the
Mists.
Mist.
Yeah, whatever.
Eh.
I don't care. Do you think Viper
I
Necro will be nerfed in the upcoming patch? No, I don't think so.
Revenants are getting deleted.
Well, I mean, come on. Why would they nerf? Just Viper Necro? No. Why would they nerf that? I mean, even in
Buff
PvP,
Ellies.
it's not even that much of a problem anymore.
Buff Ellies.
I think. Would it be accurate to say Necro's in a pretty good spot right now? I think Necro's in a pretty good spot right now.
Yeah.
And it's not top tier because Elementalist
Weird
exists.
shit.
Yeah.
Do
But
expect would
no,
come with a
no.
new set of legendary weapons? Yes!
I think Warrior needs to be just nerfed to the ground in PvP again. Like, the thing about Warrior is that it's very much like the Guild Wars 2 release cycle, where it's just a content drought for months, and then suddenly something shows up and it just shits on everything else. It's like, uh-oh, there's a Celestial Eviscerate Warrior. It's out of control. Uh-oh, there's whatever this stance burst power shit is again. Uh-oh,
A lot
there's...
of people are saying that it's cancer, but is it really that bad?
Have you fought warriors? Like, Condi?
Yeah, I mean,
They're,
it's a
they're
pain.
tough to kill.
I mean,
Connie,
I suck, so
it's
a pain in the
obnoxious.
ass,
It's
but
obnoxious as hell.
I don't know that it's any more obnoxious than fighting an Ellie or something. I don't know.
You don't want to answer that?
That's fine.
I'm not gonna. I don't like going to concerts because the problem with concerts is that, like, you get murdered, stabbed, killed, stuff stolen from, you get groped. Like, concerts are not a fun experience.
I've had the opposite experience at concerts.
You're the one
Thanks for
grabbing
reminding
and
me, actually.
murdering and stabbing people. I think that's the opposite.
I mean,
experience.
I've just never been murdered or stabbed or
At a concert. Yeah, well, it's because even when you were in Philadelphia?
yeah.
Okay.
Even when I went to see Slayer in Philadelphia in a shitty little freaking closet, basically. It was basically one old mosh pit where people were punching the shit out of each other. But I mean, hey,
I've
dear.
never
gonna
gone
do?
to a concert and come away having enjoyed it. Like, I've had friends that were, like, stronger and more agile than I was that I would go to concerts with, and they would come out, like, they had to get stitches in their eye, like,
Jesus.
their forehead, like, above their eyes. They got fucked up. Like, I don't know, it was bad.
Shit.
yes,
It says no
Slayer
tickets
used to
available.
play at a place in Philadelphia called the Trocadero, which is like a fairly narrow, small, old movie theater that they gutted and made into like a little. I haven't been there in more than a decade, but yeah. Anyway,
I mean, granted, I went to concerts, like, local small metal / screamo bands and, like, bars and stuff. So maybe it was a different environment. I never went to go see Slayer in, like, an arena or Metallica or something. I never went to see Rush or any, like, big bands. I think The Chariot was the biggest band that I saw.
this is a good stab to you, Alex. No, Jesus. I had concerts to see Metallica twice, and something always came up that prevented me from going.
Good.
Feels bad.
Wow.
They
You
put on a good show.
didn't get to see Lars go the whole show. That's all he does ever.
I didn't get to see
He's
that.
just like Lorna Dragon Seeker, am I right, Brazil?
Yeah, it's the same thing.
I did see I seen AC/DC in concert a while ago, and I thought what's his name was gonna have a fucking heart attack on stage. Angus. Thought Angus was going to literally die on stage in front of us. Man's getting up there.
He's pretty old. Yeah.
Tragically hip.
Ah.
Sad face.
Damn. I'll quickly address something that was asked in chat a little while ago. It's about would you rather have 8 maps or 6 maps with hard mode? I think personally for me, being selfish, I would take 6 maps with hard mode. Because that just gives,
like open world maps?
Yeah, open world maps.
You don't want hard mode in the open world.
Yeah, it would be cool. You can get, because there will be organized maps.
Tell me why you think it's a good idea.
Because it does give replayability and extends it.
Okay.
And you can get better rewards as well. Even better!
So, here's the problem with that. You know how we were talking earlier about having meta comps for raid shoved down our throat?
Oh, yeah.
Bad players thinking they're really good because they use, like, a Berserker Warrior build. I mean, it's bad enough in plugging raids and fractals. Open world stuff where it's just completely unthrottled, I can't even imagine. I can't even imagine.
Totally off topic. I'm looking at this mouse that Nike linked. It's actually pretty interesting.
Mm.
The Z.
The Z.
Zed.
Yeah.
The most advanced gaming mouse ever made.
I guess it's pretty cool, but I just kind of use a simple mouse, honestly. It's got
It doesn't have buttons for me.
Mine's only got... I got 2 extra buttons on this mouse. Well, I mean, how many do you need, right?
I have like 12.
Yeah.
That's why my keybinds are so fucked up. People always ask me, why do you play those keybinds? Because they're all on my mouse.
Yeah.
Wow.
Interesting.
There you go. I don't know. I don't know. It's not something I'm really into,
How much is this thing?
Probably quite a lot.
It's probably like $300, and it probably won't show up at your door for like probably 4 years.
$139.
I
much.
pugged a raid, and the
December
warrior
2016.
was using Golemancia runes and claimed they were higher DPS than Scholar. Well, you never know. Maybe that... Wait, does that summon a golem? Maybe the golem is so good. Oh, I don't know.
G600 for life. I love my G600, except that the braided cord, or whatever the hell you call this thing, is kind of fucked.
Is that the one with like the extra right click?
Yeah.
I had one of those for 2 days, and I threw
Whoa.
it. Yeah.
I love this thing. It's fantastic. But my cord, I don't know if you can. I can't get it on the camera.
I know what it's like.
The braided cord has kind of shed, so now the
Yep.
cord is kinked, and it's kind of fucked.
Oh,
But
king.
I have
mouse.
a Corsair M95. The thing I like about this the most is the bottom is just like really heavily polished aluminum. What is that?
Corsair Saber.
Yeah.
It's a good
See,
mouse.
does yours have an aluminum bottom?
No, it's fucking shitty ass
that
plastic.
is good with its 2 mouse.
So yeah, the Guild Wars 2 peripherals are shit.
The only other problem is this, and this is my own fault, is I don't use a mouse pad.
Here, okay,
So
I have to
I
explain.
fucked the
I have
bottom
to
up.
explain this. So it's got an aluminum bottom that's really polished, and it has some like very slick polished sheets on it too. And I play with a hard mouse pad, and it's literally like playing air hockey. Like it is incredible.
See, I don't like that.
It just slides around.
I don't like the easy slide. I like to have more drag. I don't know. I'm weird, I guess.
Have I heard of people testing the next Raid Wing? No, I don't know anything about that. The only thing I've heard about future content is people leaking nonsense about the next expansion.
Yeah. Were there any other questions we should answer? Any more?
I don't think it's yet.
People never use the exclamation mark question, so it's fucking impossible to keep track of these pieces of shit.
Yeah, Helium. I would buy another one. I'd buy another G600. Logitech. Gonna sponsor me.
Let's see what else we
I could never be actually sponsored by a hardware company. Like I don't even know how Guild Wars 2 puts up with me, to be honest, because I'm such a raging tyrant asshole. I don't know. I'm not the person to like come after to be like, hey, well, I don't know. I try, but I'm very critical to like destructive levels
What is
sometimes.
this? What are they going on about? Aluminum?
Aluminum?
Aluminium.
I think they mean
Are we
aluminium.
saying it weird?
Aluminium, guys, I think is what they mean.
Aluminium?
Yeah.
It's aluminum.
Aluminum. Can I buy you Meteorologicus? No, I can't.
Do you think the next raid will be with the next X Pack? I think the next raid will come out before the next X
Yes, I agree. I think so too.
I agree.
Pack. Question: Can Teapot buy me? No, you already answered that.
I already answered
Do you
that.
Do you think the raid wing will? No.
No.
I read that there.
What do you think? How long do you think ArenaNet will try to keep Guild Wars 2 alive with updates and expansions? I think there will be next expansion. Honestly, I don't know. Will they ever stop? There'll be this expansion, then I think there'll probably be another expansion, and then we'll have to see what shape the game is. And honestly, it depends how they go.
The question is there going to be something
Guild Wars
after
3.
Guild Wars 2? Another
Yes.
Guild Wars game?
Probably.
I hope so, because I
Guild
want to
Wars
play
3.
it. I want to play Guild Wars
Yeah.
for the rest of my life.
Feels good, man.
Mm-hmm.
You can be calling out delusional and toxic communities forever, Brazil. It'll be great. Right? Nemesis will be proud of you, man. Let's see. Whoa. Would you play Guild Wars 2 if you had all achievements, skins, and items
Well, Deroyer
unlocked?
does.
Yeah. Probably, yeah. Let's
Would
see
I?
what
Yeah, why wouldn't I?
Polymorph. Oh, yeah, they could add Polymorph.
I didn't do raids this week, but I still enjoy logging on to do raids and stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah, why wouldn't I?
Like, I'd probably play it more because I'd have every skin and I could just constantly change shit around.
And go do stuff I actually want to do rather than chase freaking achievements
Yeah.
and skins and crap, right? Yeah.
Do any of you guys play World vs. World to an extent? Yeah, I play World vs. World constantly.
I tried, but then
Thank you.
Plenix yelled at me, so I quit.
Yeah, I play a little. It's fun. I enjoy World vs. World, actually, a lot.
I hate World vs. World,
Yeah.
and
Oh.
personally, it wouldn't matter to me if it existed or if it didn't exist.
I like it. I just don't, because I'm constantly. This gets back to the other stuff. Because I'm constantly chasing achievements or rating, or because I'm constantly chasing collections and crap. I don't have time for World vs. World. I just really don't.
What's your question? Wait, hold on.
Will you try to get to Legend by Stronghold in the next season? Yeah, I'll try again. Try and get it done quicker.
Did you make it?
No, the queues at this point, even you can't get a game.
Answer.
There are no games of Stronghold right now, unfortunately.
I gave up too, and that's why I went to Conquest so I could get my diamond and be done.
Yeah.
I think I got the Sapphire on accident.
Oh.
Accidental Sapphire.
Do you think 3 new classes each with light, medium, and heavy armor will be possible? No, not in the new expansion. No. No. Not 3 new ones. No. Maybe one new one. Maybe.
I don't think so.
But not 3 more.
I don't think we're going to see any new professions. I don't think you're going to see any new race, and that's going to be kind of detrimental, right? Because players kind of expect one or the other, if not both. However, we will see a new elite specialization for each class. So
very likely. Well,
9 of those.
they kind of have to at this point. No.
Plenix.
Yeah,
We should record Plenix. He's very for anyone who's ever seen the Onyxia fight in World of Warcraft a long time ago, it's not too far from that. Who the fuck? How could that happen? It's the best. Never change.
It just sounds like me in raids when I'm fucking triggered and tired, man. Let's see what else. Meta events could easily be turned into 40-man raids. Oh boy, you don't want 40-man raids. Yeah.
What the hell?
Let's see.
Linking some weird shit.
What's he linking? What is this? Wait, what the fuck is this?
Oh man.
Watch this movie and do a YouTube review.
Probably better
Holocaust Cannibal?
than... No, it's Dick Shark.
No, there's another one suggested.
Okay.
Well,
Nearing the end of World War II, Nazis realize that they will lose. A handful of them board a plane bound for Argentina. They plan to live in hiding. During the fight, lightning hits the plane. Something. Where is it?
Is this the entire plot of the movie?
And the SS parachute onto an island populated by savages. Atrocities await. Huh.
Wait a second. Oh, on an island. Okay, it's not. They're not saying Argentina is populated by savages. Okay.
No.
Oh, this is a really interesting question, and it's one I guess we can kind of end on, seeing as we've been going for a million years.
Really?
Oh, I can't believe we haven't discussed this, actually. ArenaNet is looking for mobile developers. What are they going to do with that? Where I honestly have no idea where they're going there.
Guild chat.
You don't.
You think it's
don't
going to
know
be
where they're going with that?
various guild applications?
Well, maybe just, yeah, not necessarily guild applications. It could be apps to access the trading post, or apps to access a bunch of different things. Yeah, it could be guild chat, trading post.
A Guild Wars 2 efficiency kind of thing.
Yeah. Oh, man, but I hope it's Polymock.
Yeah. But I mean,
my
what if there is... But seeing as they're talking about... It is a game. It seems to be pointing in direction of some kind of gameplay. Right? Because it was talking about building mobile worlds and stuff like that, right? So there must be some kind of... Yeah, something like Polymock, right? That might directly affect the game. Because that would be good, because the Guild Wars 2 audience is pretty casual as well. If you can add a mobile game that will directly benefit their in-game character in some way, maybe some skins or something.
Maybe. Like in the app, you only have access to the minis you've collected in game, maybe, and those minis are what you use for the Polymock. I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Mm.
Gems through a mobile with extra themes and wallpapers.
I'd be right happy to.
That link is not gonna work.
Daddy gave you good advice, Brazil.
Come on.
Come on, let's go. No, this fucking hell, Brazil. We're turning.
I've seen that full video, by the way.
We are beyond
Watch-
cancer. I'm sorry, man. We're just cancer.